I'm enjoying it a lot. Like you said, last year was kind of rough for me. I almost thought about just giving up on this. 'Cause I couldn't really do much. I missed like 3, 4 months of football. I couldn't run, couldn't sweat, couldn't do nothing. Had screws in my hands. So I'm enjoying it. Just blessed to be able to be out and do what I like to do what I love to do. So I'm blessed.
How much do you think, you missed the preseason last year, where it may have affected you kind of through the entire season?
I was playing catch up all year. Cause like you go from 3 to 4 months of not doing nothing. Like I couldn't even sweat to, okay, you gotta play Notre Dame. Okay, so like they just threw me out there. So it was just, that's what that was. So I kind of played catch up all season. But then I started feeling good, and I went a long, good stretch, 3 or 4 games. I was playing good, and I hurt it again. So it was just like I just got down on myself. But I'm just happy to be here where I am now, healthy, feeling good.
You mentioned almost a sign to hang it up and said this may not be. At what point in the process was that a consideration for you?
When I broke it and I went to the doctor and they just kind of told me what was going on, and they told me I was gonna have to sit and I couldn't sweat or do anything for a long time, and I was just like, this is supposed to be the season. Like I worked hard all this whole time, and this is supposed to be the season for me. Like I had a great spring that spring, and I just thought this was gonna be the one. And I get hurt, and I'm playing catch up all year, so it was just like, man, maybe I just need to sit it down, cause like it felt like I just kept getting hurt back to back to back to back, but just wouldn't nothing go right. So I wanted to give up.
How was this whole offseason?
It was big for me this whole off season because during the season last season after I broke it, it was hard for me to rehab and stuff because we were still practicing and playing games and stuff. It's like I had a real off season to get bigger, faster, stronger, strengthen my hand and stuff like that. So the off season has been big for me. Who shout out to Coach Sean.
You're clearly happy that you stuck it out, right? It seems pretty evident. Who is important in kind of helping you through that process to say, hey, maybe you can get through the other side of this and still perform well?
I would say my mom and my girlfriend. They were big influences on that. Like they just told me stick it out. Like you got to go through something hard to get to the brighter side of it. So that just was my mindset through it. I just stayed strong, and they kind of helped me through this. They brought up nickel to me. I would say like July-ish, June-ish, a little bit before camp. And they asked me how I would feel about it. Of course, I said yeah, I want to do it. So it's been good. I love nickel. Like I kind of play field corner and nickel, so I feel good about it.
What's been the biggest difference or biggest transition about occasionally playing nickel? Like what do you have to do differently from a skill set perspective?
I would just say at nickel, you just got to know more. Like you have to analyze the whole field just to make calls. So that's really the biggest thing. Nothing really technique-wise, nothing like that.
Coach Woodson mentioned how guys like AZ and Kevin are really students of the game and really enjoy the film side of things. How does that help a unit when you have the young guys come in and that's not something you have to worry about? You know that they're in their film.
When you're an older guy, you try to get guys to watch film, and we try to have film sessions together. But when you got young guys that want to do that on their own, you ain't got to try to force them, nothing like that. That's always a plus. Like KP, Zarya, and Sam, like they've been great. Duke, Maricool, like they've been great. Like they've been great additions. So like they doing what they do, and I'm happy that they're here.
I see a lot of guys with FSU tattoos, maybe not many with ACC tattoos. What's important to get the ACC tattoo?
It's a long story behind these tattoos. Cause I got a picture on my chest of me in a Mississippi State jersey. So it's kind of like, okay, I have to get, the FSU. So that's kind of why I got the SEC and then the ACC on the side. So, yeah, I got this.
Do that again. Thank you.
You had a big pick last year.
Yes, sir.
So did that kind of get the spirit back to you?
Yes, sir. Okay, really, when we played Syracuse the game before, and so I had a good game that game. So, and for me being hurt and me having a good game against them, it was like, okay, like you starting to feel it again, like you getting back to you. And then when we played UNC, it was like, and I made those plays, it was like, okay, you're back, like you're feeling good. And then I kind of banged it up again. So I was just in my head a lot, basically.
Is it tough? People see you out there and you're playing through an injury, but they may not know because it's just the hand and they're not thinking about all the lack of involvement that you're having with working out and whatnot. Is it tough to kind of hear the criticism or just know that you're not performing the way you want to for a reason and maybe not everyone knows about it?
I see it. I definitely see it. But it don't really affect me as much as it affects like my parents, say. So like when they send me the stuff, I read everything and I just want them, whatever they said, I just want you to stay there. Like whatever you said, however you said it, just stay there. Now, when you see the flip side of it, don't act like you knew this the whole time.
Scrimmage on Saturday, how big are those moments in preseason camp to get out there and play that way?
It's big because you got some guys that have never played in dope or scrimmage or anything, and so they don't really get the experience or the feeling. So like it's gonna be big for them to get live reps, full speed reps, to tackle and stuff like that. So it's gonna be big.
Appreciate it.